There are stories that drift like wind across open fields, brushing against skin before anyone notices. And there are stories that wait in quiet corners, where sunlight stretches long, shadows fold in impossible ways, and footsteps vanish almost as soon as they are made. Welcome to Veiled Beasts, a collection of folklore and cryptid tales that drift between this world and the next. Tonight we follow a traveler into the high fields at the height of noon, where wheat sways golden beneath the sun and where the Poludnitsa walks, not in form, not with haste, but through hum beneath soil, wind-bending stalks, and subtle green traces left on skin. Follow the show so these quiet tales find you. For those who wish to step further beyond the veil, our Patreon offers extended experiences that linger in the unseen. Now settle. Listen. The traveler left the familiar road when the sun was still gentle on the horizon, stepping into hedgerows thick with wildflowers and seeds. Each leaf trembling in the morning warmth, the earth smelled of damp moss and recent rain, rising slowly into the air as the breeze stirred, carrying the soft hum of insects hidden among the grass. Every step pressed into soil that yielded slightly, almost knowingly beneath bare feet. Shallow streams cut across the path, reflecting the morning light in fractured arcs. Small birds called once and then fell silent, leaving a vast quiet where distant sounds bent oddly against perception. The traveler noticed a faint vibration beneath their soles, subtle enough to mistake for heartbeat or wind, threading up into calves and spine. As they walk, the air thickened with a strange warmth, and along the inside of the wrist a faint green line appeared, curling delicately as if pressed by the memory of something older than this day. It was neither pain nor injury, merely a trace, a whisper of presence. The traveler paused to study it, feeling a faint thrum in alignment with the soil beneath. Somewhere, just beyond vision, shadows deepened in ways that felt deliberate, bending lightly in anticipation. The path rose gently, leading to a low hill where the traveler could glimpse the field. Wheat swayed in unison, golden under the sun. Yet the air carried a subtle vibration, a resonance that threaded through wind, stalks, and soil. The green line along the wrist was brightened slightly, as if acknowledging the field ahead. Time itself seemed to stretch in this approach. Moments layered over one another, the warm sun of yesterday, the scent of rain decades past, the distant echo of footsteps that could have been theirs, or someone else's long forgotten. The traveler stepped carefully, aware that the field, even from a distance, was alive in ways the eye could not see. The wheat rose above the traveler's knees, brushing softly against skin as they entered. There was no clear path, only the sway of stalks and patterns that seemed deliberate. The sunlight too shifted in uneven pools, dancing and flickering through the heat haze. The faint hum beneath the soil threaded upward, aligning with heartbeat and breath. Kneeling at the edge of a small brook that ran through the wheat, the traveler placed hands upon the water, feeling vibrations ripple back through fingers. The green line along the wrist curled upward subtly, tracing veins and sinew in patterns almost like leaf veins. Poludnitsa was present, not in form, not with eyes or with face, but in the alignment of air, soil, and stalks, in hum and light and the faint tug along skin. The wind softened and the stalks swayed differently, almost in acknowledgement. Every footstep left no print, yet the traveler felt the rhythm of the field respond. Somewhere, beyond sight, Shadows deepened and folded as if layering on themselves, echoing faint memories of travelers who had crossed this land long ago. The traveler knelt in a shaded patch, roots pressing upward through cracks in soil. Fingers traced the earth gently, sensing subtle shifts beneath the stones, beneath moss. The green mark spread, delicate branches curling along wrists and fingers. The hum beneath the feet intensified slightly, a quiet pulse threading into palms, spine, and neck. The sunlight flickered through the heat haze above, falling across stalks in thin ribbons of gold. A faint echo of laughter or movement brushed across the traveler's perception, just beyond comprehension, time folding lightly upon itself. Was it memory? Was it present? Or was the field itself replaying a scene older than observation? Each breath aligned with the hum, each heartbeat threaded into pulse of stalks, roots, and soil. The Poludnitsa did not appear in shape, but her presence was undeniable. The traveler moved deeper into the field, each step pressing through stalks taller than shoulders. The wheat swayed in a sea caught in a gentle storm, brushing against arms and face. Sunlight struck in patches, flickering across golden stalks, making shadows twist and fold in ways that seemed deliberate, as if aware of every movement. A shallow depression revealed damp earth, cool beneath the soles of feet. Kneeling, the traveler pressed hands against the soil, feeling roots weave beneath stones and moss. The hum beneath the feet intensified, threading upward through legs, spine, and into fingertips. The green mark on the wrists had curled, delicate veins now extending toward the elbow, tracing subtle maps of energy and presence. Nearby, a narrow creek reflected the sky, yet the surface shimmered in subtle distortions, as though bending time. The traveler traced a finger across the water, and a faint ripple carried across the surface, echoing through stalks and roots, light refracted in patterns that the mind could not predict. Sunbeams fell in gentle arcs, striking leaves and stalks that swayed with rhythm, not entirely of the wind. Somewhere, faint shadows bent against perception, too slow, too precise to be ordinary. Each microlocation in the field revealed a new facet of the Poludnitsa's presence. A patch where the wheat bent low, brushing the traveler's shoulders, traced an invisible path along arms. A cluster of stones thick with moss that pulsed slightly beneath touch, as if aware of observation. A ridge where sun struck warm against skin and stalks swayed in silent choreography, each movement subtle yet precise. Time itself seemed to fold. Sunlight flickered and lingered, shadows stretched and twisted. The faint hum beneath soil threaded in counterpoints to the traveler's heartbeat. The green mark on the wrist responded, branching further, curling along veins, tracing small spirals that felt alive, almost sentient. Even as the traveler moved forward, the field seemed to pull slightly, drawing attention to small details, a patch of damp earth that smelled faintly of rain from years ago, the faint imprint of a forgotten footfall in the soft soil, the subtle flutter of leaves that did not belong to the wind. The Poludnitsa's presence remained invisible and yet undeniably woven into every movement of stalk and stone and air and shadow. Reaching a gentle ridge, the traveler paused. From this vantage, the field stretched endless, golden waves under sun glimmering like molten metal, The heat pressed against skin, warm and heavy, yet somewhere beneath the soles, in fingers, along the spine, there was a faint pulse threading through the body into the field's rhythm. Here time felt heavier, shadows folded against themselves, light flickered across wheat in impossible angles. The hum beneath the soil threaded upward, aligning with breath and heartbeat. The green mark on the wrist thickened, faint veins curling like roots into the forearm. The traveler rested, pressing palms lightly against the soil, aware of presence in every stalk, every leaf, every flicker of sunlight. A small grove nearby offered a fleeting shade. Kneeling once again, the traveler brushed fingers across moss-covered stones. Each touch sent faint vibrations up arms, through shoulders, threading into chest. The field seemed to breathe, inhaling and exhaling with a rhythm invisible yet undeniable. Somewhere beyond perception, shadows shifted subtly, bending just slightly different than light would dictate. The Poludnitsa's presence became more tangible here. Though still without shape or form, the hum deepened, stalks responded with near purposeful sway, and roots shifted imperceptibly beneath stone and soil. Was it alignment? Was it hallucination? Or was it simply the field alive with patient awareness? The green mark continued to trace intricate patterns, branching delicately, echoing the rhythm of soil, stalks, and light. As the sun began its descent, the traveler rose. Each step was measured, careful, acknowledging the subtle pull of the field. The stalks swayed in gentle acknowledgement. The sunlight flickered across uneven patches of wheat, and the hum beneath soil receded slowly, threading into memory rather than perception. By the brook at the edge of the field, the traveler paused once more. Fingers brushed the water, reflections rippled, bending light and shadow. The green mark on the wrist remained, faint yet insistent, a delicate trace of presence. Roots pressed gently beneath stones, responding to breath and heartbeat. The Poludnitsa remained, patient, silent, woven into stalks, soil, and air. Moving finally beyond the wheat, the traveler noticed details they had missed before. A patch of moss on a stone that seemed to tremble slightly as they passed, faint footprints that vanished before touch, and the subtle scent of damp earth and sun-warmed stalks mingling in the air. The hum settled into memory, a faint echo threading beneath skin. By the time distant hills swallowed the sun, the green mark persisted, branching delicately along veins and sinew, carrying the rhythm of the field, the hum of soil, and the patient presence of the Poludnitsa into the traveler's mind. Evening settled, the sun dipped behind hills, painting sky and wheat in copper and gold. The field, once alive with subtle hum and bending stalks, became ordinary again. Yet the traveler felt its echo beneath skin, memory, and breath. The green mark glimmered faintly in fading light, a delicate reminder that some presences do not vanish. The hum lingered in thought and perception, threading along veins, across skin, and into the spaces between heartbeat and breath. The Poludnitsa waited, patient, eternal, never visible but always present, threading awareness into the field. Some stories exist only where wind bends sweet, where sunlight glints along stalks, where shadows fold subtly and soil hums beneath. This was one of them. Some presences are quiet. They do not rush. They do not strike. They move in hums beneath soil, in the sway of stalks, in sunlight across skin, and in the faint green marks left on those who wander too closely. Follow veiled beasts and subscribe so these quiet tales find you where the veil grows thin. For a deeper extended experience, visit Patreon, where the field stretches farther, the hum rises, and the green mark traces patterns across skin and memory. Walk slowly, listen, and remember, some stories exist only where the wind bends the wheat.
Hush now, little listener, the forest knows your name. Soft feet in the shadow, soft mouths that never